Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you have been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I really do appreciate it. As usual, trying to find the light. One day I'll get a good lighting situation and I'm like, this is it. But for now, this works. Right at twilight, at dusk. So I've kind of repositioned myself from where my normal positioning over to the side over there. So tonight I want to do a video on just a little show and tell walkthrough of a deck that I've had for quite some time. To see if they have the publishing date. Anyway, zoned out there. Tonight I want to do a video on the Universal Goddess Tarot. And this is the box. And as you can see from the box, kind of a little on the dog-eared side, I have had this deck. I want to say I originally got this deck in 2011, 2012, around that time. And I still love this deck. I have not, be honest, I haven't used it in quite some time, but I'm realizing maybe I want to put it back into my current rotation of decks that I'm working with. And it's such a beautiful deck. So the front of the box, Universal Goddess Tarot, and then the back of the box, which we will see these goddesses again. And it is published by, let me see. Lo Scarabeo. So this is a Lo Scarabeo deck. And I haven't bought any, I don't think I bought any Lo Scarabeo decks. No reason, just life, whatever, random. I haven't gotten a Lo Scarabeo deck in a while. From some things that I've seen with other people's videos, it seems that perhaps the quality of cardstock is not, like most things in life, ain't what it used to be. So we'll get into cardstock in a minute, but this is a Lo Scarabeo deck. It is a standard 78 card deck and a Rider-Waite, I won't say clone, but almost. Very extremely Rider-Waite based deck. And on the side of the box it says, each goddess is a single aspect of the divine, the human nature. 78 spiritual tarot cards with divinatory instructions. Let's talk about those instructions that unfortunately I don't have. I have probably in moving, unfortunately lost the little white book that comes with it. And I tend to I went through a period where I always got rid of my little white books. And then I'm now in a period where I keep the little white book because you never know what gem or little nugget of information that's going to help you to kind of understand the artist's interpretation of a card. And it can be really, really informative and really important. This deck is absolutely a deck that I would say you really do need and fare better with having that little white book. So I'm probably going to have to break down and buy the deck all over again to get the little white book. And the reason being is because it is 78 different goddesses from different pantheons, different cultures, different times in history. So I remember that it would just have a very tiny, very standard little white book amount of writing, that it would give you just enough to at the very least, know the name of the goddess that's represented so you could do further research. So I do need to get that. At the time of purchase, I don't know how much this cost, and it doesn't say on the box, but again, I bought it about 10 years ago. So I would say this probably is going to go for probably like $25, $30. It is a mass market deck, being from Lo Scarabeo. But yeah, it is a beautiful comic cartoon style artwork. I'm sure there's a better way to put that, but that's the only way I got to put it. And all of the cards are female or femme energy. So even your kings, I do know that it was listed in the book as pages or pages. No, they're not. See, I don't remember. This is why I need the little white book. I don't recall if the knights are knights. The pages are pages in the little white book with this. The queens are queens, the kings are kings. But it's all divine feminine energy that is in the deck. So without further ado, let's start walking. Also, let's get to cardstock. So really good cardstock. And again, I've heard on other people's videos that Los Scarabaeo's cardstock is not the best anymore. And if I'm speaking out of turn, forgive me. But this is the cardstock. So it's very, very flexible for if you do a riffle shuffle, and it's very, very sturdy. So if you're a person who works with your cards a lot, these will stand up to the test of time. Also, I did modify my decks. I just had a conversation with a friend of mine about to modify or not to modify. This was the second deck I think I had a Robin Wood, a copy of the Robin Wood deck. And I bought a backup copy just in case I hated it. And as a purist, it was one of the hardest things ever. And to cut it, and now never looked back. I have a video if you want to check out my video where I actually did the trimming of the Robin Wood deck, and this was again back in 2011, 2012. I'm so disappointed, especially as a person who's now trying to build a channel, that when I changed my channel name, that video had thousands of views. And it seems that since I changed my channel name, the powers that be completely wiped away the number of channel views, which is extraordinarily disheartening and disappointing. Don't seem to really have any power in that, so it is what it is. But I'll link that video in the description bar below. I've been having a little trouble linking videos, and I don't know if it's because I still have a newer channel. I mean, my channel's old, but new in terms of me producing content. So as soon as I'm able to put that in the down bar, I will put it in there in case you want to see the process and how I did it, and the compare and contrast of taking off the border, the before and after. And cards just seem, the imagery just seems to just flow so much more beautifully and so much more smoothly. So this is definitely a modified deck, and these are the backs. And if you read reversals, very easy to do. The other thing that I've noticed with having, and I'm going to just grab my dark wood deck just for illustration purposes. I did edge the sides of these, and I will edge the sides of this Universal Goddess Tarot. But it is a standard deck. So this is the size that it would be, and with the modifications, this is, there we go. That's about what the borders would have looked like. And it did have the title of the card written on it. So I have noticed, I definitely love larger decks, and I've got really big hands. I love larger decks. I have noticed it is a little more user-friendly on my hands, and something perhaps for you to take into consideration, especially those of you who are professional readers. Take good care of your hands, exercising your wrists. Didn't mean to turn this into this video, but doing things to really stretch out your fingers and all the way up your arm. The constant shuffling, shuffling, shuffling. My physical therapist has discovered very early carpal tunnel, and thank goodness we caught it very early. But I do notice that smaller decks, which are not my favorite, lend themselves to, it seems, a little bit better for the health of my hands. So we'll see how that goes, because I really prefer a larger deck. But this is the size. So whether you have, if you do decide to modify this deck, this is what it looks like, and this is the size of it. And oh, before we get into it, this is by Maria Carati and Antonella Platano did the artwork for it. So full disclosure, I do not, because again, I lost the little white book. So a lot of the goddesses I will not remember, but I definitely had worked with the deck enough at the point of me cutting it and modifying it so that I knew, oh, that's the Fool, that's the Page of Coins, that's the Moon, whatever. So I have put the deck back into original publishing proper order. So as we go through, they will be in order. So the first card, the Fool. And this is a gender fluid goddess. See, this is where I need to, I think that the spirit's name is Ben Seishien, but I could be wrong, and I could be definitely mispronouncing that. But clearly it looks like the Fool. And the fluidity of gender I love represented in this card. And in 2011, 2010, that was not really, forgive me, that just really wasn't a popular thing that decks creators were doing, but in this deck they were. Demeter as the magician. Zoned out for a second there. Isis as our high priestess, which I think is an absolutely perfect and beautiful choice and a beautiful depiction of her. Astarte as the beautiful Empress. I mean, just look at this Empress. And I won't lie, I usually tend to like my Empress pregnant. I do. I love this. Maybe she is pregnant. I love the Venusian Taurus Lux energy of divine feminine beauty, and even just the folds of this is just such a nod to the divine feminine, the female body, the female form, opulence, luxury, comfort. This is one of my favorite, I don't know, I might have to think this might be my favorite Empress of all. I did something with the camera, you guys, so I'm trying things out, so it's kind of more faded and muted background. I don't know, hopefully this is working. Athena as the Emperor. How brilliant is that? Interesting with Medusa on the shield. I want to say the spirit's name is Ate. I want to say she's from Persia. I could be 100% wrong, but I do know she is definitely. This is not Ate. I forget the name of the spirit. But this is definitely the Hierophant. Venus as the Lovers, which I absolutely love. I can't lie, I really wish that she had been paired with somebody. But we do have the twin dolphins, so. Look at the movement and fluidity in that chariot, it's gorgeous. This is a Persian goddess. I don't remember her name, but what an absolutely, I love this strength card. I absolutely love it. It is one of my favorites. Yes, number 9, Hecate. Or Hecate, I never know how to pronounce her name. I love that they've gone with a more mature, older aspect as she is the triple goddess. I love that with her being more of a senior woman, the wisdom, the 2 dogs, the mountains, the waning moon. Yeah, love that. Arianrod as the wheel. Ma'at, oh goodness, hold on guys. Oh, I might need to speed this up as, of course, battery is dying. Ma'at as our beautiful justice card. Frigga with Odin. And this is kind of, to me, this is a nod, more of a mashup between Frigga and Freya, in my opinion, but I could be wrong. As our hanged man. Kalima. Death. It's either a Persian or a Turkish goddess. I don't recall who she is, but she's absolutely beautiful as our temperance. Lilith. How freaking beautiful is that as our devil. The Morrigan is the tower. The Pleiades as the star. I really hope I don't have to redo this video because I'm worried that the focus is moving. Selene as the goddess, as the moon. Amaterasu as the sun. Caradwyn, Judgment. Gaia, Earth. Let's see. Bastet, Bast, for our Ace of Wands. I'm not sure. I believe this is a Navajo goddess, but I'm not sure for our 2 of Wands. Great goddesses, not sure who they are. For the 3, the 4. See, like, this is a beautiful 4 of Wands. The ceremony that's happening, but again, why the Little White Book is so important, to be able to research and make more sense of why the artist chose the imagery that she did. Pele for the 5. I'm not sure who that is, but it's a wonderful 6 of Wands. This is an Inuit goddess, and she is one who not only fights the patriarchy in general, but she is specifically, I do recall, for victims of sex crimes, of taking your power back from extreme masculine dominant energy. 8 of Wands. Look at this beautiful 9 of Wands. This is one of my favorite 9 of Wands of all. Look at how beautiful and serene. And she is specifically associated with Yule, the dark night of the soul. I love that 9 of Wands. 10 of Wands. Goodness me, that says it all. Now this is the Page of Wands, and I'll be honest, as a person who practices ATRs, this is Oya, Yansa, but I would not have chosen Oya for this card, for the Page of Wands. She's the tornado, she's the wind. I would have put her absolutely, probably the Knight of Swords or the Queen of Swords. But hey. And Iris as our Knight of Wands. This one is another one that I don't love. This was Kuan Yin. This is Kuan Yin. I would not have put Kuan Yin as a Queen of Fire. Bridget, King of Wands. Epona, I believe, is the name of this beautiful goddess on the Ace of Cups. Is this Eros and Psyche? See, not sure, but what a beautiful Two of Cups. The Three of Cups. So as you can see, they're very true to Rider-Waite-Smith. Once you know the cards, it's not going to take much to recognize, you know, clearly. Five of Cups. Six. This is Maya, the goddess of illusion, which I think is a really unique and interesting choice for that Seven of Cups. Circe? Nike as the Nine of Cups. This beautiful Ten of Cups. So there's a lot of inclusivity with this deck. Hebe gave ambrosia to the gods as the page. There's so much inclusion that is in this deck, and while now that is something that we definitely talk about, this Queen of Cups. As a person who practices ATRs, completely support this choice 100%. Yemaya as gorgeous Queen of Cups. Sarasvati is the king. There's so much inclusion in this deck, and this is Nyx and Hemera. At the time that this deck was created, that was not, just really wasn't a thing. So in a lot of ways, this deck was kind of ahead of its time. Hel, the Norse goddess Hel as the Five of Pentacles. Six. Seven. I love the symbolism there. Look at this beautiful Eight of Pentacles. Like, yeah. Not my favorite Nine of Pentacles, which kind of sucks because Nine of Pentacles is one of my favorite cards. I'm gonna switch hands. My arm's hurting a little bit. This beautiful Ten of Pentacles, a nod to tradition and family, and our page. Our knight. Hera as the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, traditional. Look at Lakshmi. And now into the Swords family. This is interesting for a Rider-Waite deck to have gone with more of a Thoth approach of peace and truce for the Two of Swords, but you know. The Fates as the Three of Swords. I forget the name of this goddess with the bunny on the moon. Loki and Sith as the Five of Pentacles. Brilliant, in my opinion. Six. I love the person assisting her as her precious pup. This Seven of Swords is absolutely brilliant. Oh, I love it. Persephone as the Eight of Swords. A nod to the flowers when she's Corey. This is Ate is the name of this goddess of nightmares. 9, 10. I think it's interesting how the knives are facing her in the 10 instead of at her back. Diana as the page within a waxing moon. I wish I remembered who this goddess is. What a gorgeous, gorgeous Queen of Swords and an Aztec goddess as the King of Swords. So I am going to have to get, like I said, another copy of the deck in order to get the little white book. I'm looking forward to pairing it with my deck that I've absolutely fallen in love with, the Svodolon Mythos Tarot, which is all Greek based, but I'm really looking forward to pairing those two together. I think they're going to read beautifully off of each other and together. But I need to get the book and then do some homework on some of these goddesses. But I wanted to share this deck with you all this evening. So, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guess who? So wherever you are in the world, I hope that I hope that this video finds you doing well. And I am going to attend to His Royal Highness. Blessings to all of you, and I will see you in the next video.